So hi, thanks for joining us again. Steve Stumbras with Purple Cow Organics. Another segment today on foliar applications. We're going to look at, as we always do, yield, profitability as it relates to yield and nutrient density. I sometimes, often really get asked, what's the best time to use CX1? And the answer is quite simply, it really depends on the farm, the system, the operation, the crops. Mostly it depends on the equipment. And obviously there are some goals, germination and emergence, for instance, where an in-furrow application is going to be more beneficial. But there are other times, situations, goals where foliar is actually the right way to go. But it really does boil down to, your farm, your operation, your equipment, and what can work for you. One of the last segments we talked about how, you should always know where your carbon is coming from. You should always know where your minerals are coming from. And if you have a mix that you like that's successful, adding a little biology into that mix can make a big difference. So I wanted to just briefly take a quick review of some of the return on investment data as it relates to a little bit of biology in a mix to make that mix better. Again, this is a 2020 trial with wide range of inputs. CX1 was selected to be part of it, and the data collected here is designed to show how making a mix more comprehensive can increase the grower's return on investment. So first you have a mix that's essentially carbon only. You can see the bushels and the return on investment. Next, we'll look at a mix where we're going to add minerals, specifically nitrogen and calcium to that carbon. And you can see the return on the investment there. But in this mix, like so many others, if you can take just a little bit of biology and add it to your current mix, you can see how we're just taking that mix to the next level. So there's such an increase in productivity, yield, nutrient density. You're taking what was a $21 per acre return on investment, and you're growing it to $141 return on investment in this case, simply by adding a little bit of biology. That's going to be kind of the case across the board. If you can get some biology into your mix, you're going to have success. So what I wanted to do now is look at a couple of crops. I want to start with alfalfa. Obviously, we're America's dairyland. We deal with a lot of growers that are growing forage, some for their own herd, and again, yield, nutrient density. That's going to lead to milk production and better constituents and better herd health. As it relates to alfalfa, the best time to do a foliar application for an established alfalfa field is after first and second cuttings. You'll see a real difference in the second crop when you foliar apply soon after the first cutting. So let's take a peek. Here we have a farm in Lafarge, Wisconsin. Again, CX1 and TerraFed in this case applied at a 5 gallon per acre of each rate after first cutting. So the tonnage increase, you can see from 1.53 tons to 1.8 tons, 1.88 tons, and there was an 8% increase in relative feed quality. When you factor both of them together, this is a return on investment of about $90 per acre. Let's look at another return on investment. And in this case, this is a field that has gone from conventionally farmed to a transition into organic. So if you take a look at this picture carefully, what you see is hollow stems versus solid stems. And that's really what's driving weight. Visually, the CX1 field was a little greener, but they looked from a height standpoint about the same. My speculation here is that when this field was conventionally farmed, there was a good bit of granular fertility that was put down but not available to the plant. As the grower transitioned to organic, they had to use new inputs, they brought biology into the mix, and I think that biology unlocked this vault of fertility that was there waiting but not available to the plant. So a 43% increase in weight, again, that's at the time of second cutting when applied after first cutting, And the return on investment calculation, $197 here in the first cutting alone, and that doesn't take into account any additional nutrient density benefits. If we transition from alfalfa to corn, again, timing is everything. I think the best time to do a foliar application on corn is right about V3, V4. And it's ideal if that foliar application is on top of a robust fertility program, meaning there's a good granular fertility mix down, or you've got good fertility in the tank. So here's a testimonial from a high profile grower. And this is one of those remarkable results stories. And so, this grower was hesitant to put his name on a testimonial that had this kind of return on investment. So that's why he wouldn't do it the previous year. This is actually the second year in a row they did this trial with similar results. Here you see planted June 6th. The foliar application was done on June 20th. This again is 5 gallons of TerraFed and 5 gallons of CX1. The bushel increase is amazing. There's additional advantages in terms of moisture and test weight. These are all, again, those invisible ways we can, add profitability to the grower's bottom line. But when we see these really remarkable results, we've touched on something. There's something there in that field where this biology is really liberating some fertility that is really doing then a great job for this grower. So there you had some examples, foliar applications with alfalfa and corn, but it really works. It works on every crop. And the goals, number 1, yield, number 2, nutrient density. So going back to corn, it's protein, it's methionine. In alfalfa, it's vitamins and amino acids. In vegetables, it's flavonoids and carotenoids. It's oils, cannabinoids. In a hemp crop, it's oil in sunflower seeds or flax seeds, any oilseed crop. That's a metabolite. That's a function of minerals and microbes working together to make, first of all, make the minerals immobilized to prevent them from leaching. Second, to facilitate uptake. And third, to create, change, advance them into a metabolite. Here we have an example of fertility, biology and fertility together through a pivot. So this is a kind of a new crop for us. This is out west, where through a pivot, 2 applications of CX1 took the oil content on this very high value crop from between 4 and 5% to 8 and 9%. And that's real money for the grower. So again, just to review, biology can take any good foliar mix to the next level. But you want to know, where's your carbon coming from, where your minerals coming from, and where your biology is coming from. So just a quick review. These are the minerals. You're going to get these minerals either from the soil, the parent soil. If that's where your minerals are coming from, that's where you should apply your CX1. The minerals may be coming from a manure or from a granular fertilizer. Again, right there, right on the granular fertilizer, that's where you want to apply your biology, so your biology liberates the minerals that are in that granular fertilizer. And if your minerals are coming from a tank, then right there, combining a little biology into that tank mix can really take that mix to the next level. So the more complete you can make your mix, you can drive yield, and you can enhance nutrient density, which contributes favorably to the grower's bottom line in a number of different ways. So whether you're in-furrow with a mix or whether you're in a foliar application, the concept of getting minerals in a carbon biological cycle can be used to your advantage. So thanks very much for tuning in. Join us again next time.